Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Take a tour of the camp and speak to all of our allies. Starting with Paralictor and Minos Renth. Defend the foothold until our last breath. No one can handle this better than us. Chief Soul. Woo! Hopping from one rock to another is exhausting. We'll make our stand here. Theodor. Quite the battle. It seems we're aiming to slay every demon in the world wound at once. Solketh Benoth. This is cheating. Bringing a demon lord to fight with demons. Poor things. I even feel a little ashamed. Acclaimed. Is this truly the day? All of us, Commander. Storming Threshold itself. Unbelievable. I'm gonna hop over here and speak to Hal next. Once you step close to the core of the world wound, the poison the abyss within you will try to rebel. Be stalwart, my kin. Char. Today light will prevail. There's no other way. Good old Hylor. With his head thrown back, Venture Captain Hylor grimly looks at the Threshold Fortress. So, all that stuff that has tormented our Avestan for a century is brought out of this dump. Raise this place down to the very foundation, Commander. Why did you come? As a man of honor, I could not stay away. I've been at war with demons my whole life. If there's anything I can do for you in the last battle, I'm ready to risk my head. What can you do for our army? You may want to strengthen your unit with a couple of experienced mercenaries for the coming assault. Either that, we need to train your comrades in new combat tactics. I can help you with both. It's good that you're here. In the upcoming battle, you need a pair of sleek fighters. Let me know. But my comrades are real ruffians. I may need more than ruffians in the upcoming fight, but thank you. Queen Galfrey.
This endeavor rushes toward its conclusion. I wish to speak with you.
The Queen greets you with one direct look.
To be honest, I almost stopped believing that I would live to see this moment. It has been at least 50 years since I stopped hoping and believing it could happen. And yet, here we are. At the entrance to Threshold. All thanks to you.
She brings a hand to her face for a moment, in a gesture that looks slightly awkward.
I have made a great many mistakes in my life, and I suppose I shall pay for every one of them, in this life or in the afterlife. But few mistakes became apparent to me as quickly and as painfully as my feud with you.
Galfrey looks away. That's all in the past now. I hold no grudge against you.
I feel really happy. I mean it. I thought I would not have enough strength to drag this burden of regrets along to the final battle.
What are you going to do after we win?
I am going to rule Mendev. What else? I do not seem to have much choice in that. I have become a symbol of battle and of the war for our liberation. I hope I am wise enough to become a symbol of peace, too.
Galfrey smiles wryly. I have a request. When we win, the wardstones will no longer be needed. Whatever happens to me, free the angels imprisoned inside them.
You are right. I shall fulfill your request, although it will be difficult. No one in Mendev knows the sacrifice that the creation of the wardstones demanded. The stones themselves are seen as a symbol of hope and safety. To destroy them would be akin to dismantling the fortress walls around Mendev's cities. It will provoke suspicion and panic, even if the demons are defeated by that time.
Well, that's just too bad.
But the angels have done their duty and should be freed. Therefore, should we win, I shall carry out your request, even if it means losing the people's trust.
I have to go.
Yes, of course. May Iomedae be with you, or any other higher power you believe in.
Alright, Arsino. Arsino casts a disapproving glance at the fortress. The demons have completely neglected the fortifications here. They're in complete disarray. However, this plays right into our hands. What are you doing here? I fulfill my duty to Abadar, of course. I'm not afraid of chaos. I go into a world of savagery and grief to bring the light of civilization, law, and order. Can you help me with something before the attack? As before, and help you cast the necessary spells. If you wish to recuperate, I'll make sure that your rest is not disturbed. I'm glad that you're with us. May Abadar keep you, Commander. I see that you have brought the altar of Abadar here to the threshold. Crusader army needs protection from the corruption of the Abyss, as do you, Commander. I am deeply flattered that the privilege of granting such protection has been given to me and my god. I need to catch my breath. Rest, Commander. Hard battle lies ahead. Alright, Mimir. All this time, the spirits of Dead Star Chorus have waited in such anticipation for this day. But for their vengeance, we will see it done. Shamira. Life of bloodshed. When I acceded to the throne of Elutionira, there was a slaughter just like this one. Ivu. These demons are so icky. Don't they ever wash at all? Even biting them is gross. Ew. The storyteller. The old elf stands frozen. It is unclear whether he is listening closely to the sounds coming from the fortress, contemplating something, or just dozing. Upon hearing your footsteps, he respectfully ducks his head. Commander. How'd you end up right in the thick of battle? The storyteller smiles softly. This is not my first battle, Commander. I know how to defend myself, and the thunder of a fight has never stopped me from getting into another adventure. I've come to witness great things, and some unsightly demons will not dare to get in my way. Will you help us in battle? A blind man is hardly what you'll need when storming a fortress. I'll stay here, among the soldiers guarding the gates against uninvited guests. If you manage to seize any artifacts whose nature you wish to know, bring them to me, and I'll read their stories. What do you think lies ahead for me? My gift is useless here. This story has yet to be written, and the quill is in your hands, Commander. I appreciate you coming here, right to the heart of the fight. How could I miss a story like this? I wish to witness it, not listen to the retelling in years to come. Alright, Zacharias. Do not expect me to do all the work. This entire crusade can curl up and die for all I care. Alright, Mephistopheles. Demons have always tried to surpass hell in the acquisition of souls. They have always failed. Argona? Who will win? If not us, then who? Alright, I think it's just our companions left. What does this do? The artifact, created by years of hard work of the servants of Pelura, the efforts of the finest spellcasters of the Crusade, glows with a mysterious light. The Starlight Astrolabe seems to be looking forward to the hour when it can release its power and unleash it on the demons. Awaken the artifact. It's time to clear the sky of her threshold. So it looks like it gave us the Good Hope spell. Alright, let's speak to our companions. We'll start with Woljif.
Chief, is there any chance, even a tiny one, that we can just call this whole thing off now and go home?
Woljif is nervously biting his nails, and his tail is swishing from side to side, stirring up clouds of dust.
Before, I would have just made a run for it, but I can't do that now. Something is holding me back, and I really don't like the thought of leaving you high and dry. See what you turned me into?
Woljif sighs. Have I turned into a hero, maybe?
If you want to send me to the front line, I ain't going, so don't even try that hero stuff on me. I'm gonna fight because I don't want to die. And because we're kind of friends now. And don't you go getting yourself killed either. I can't stand being sad, so just don't do that to me.
Woljif shoots you a doubtful look. I promise you'll have no cause to be sad.
And I won't be. At least not for long. I've got plans, you know. Lots of them, like getting rich. I won't have time to be crying over dead heroes. But if you do survive, I'll make sure to cut you in. That reminds me, the Tiefling's merchandise is still at your disposal. So don't be afraid to ask if you find yourself in need of something.
So it doesn't look like he has anything new. A little disappointing. Alright, Greyboard.
Not a bad spot to end this war. Formidable, menacing. It has a certain style about it.
Taking an unhurried puff off his pipe, or of his pipe, Greyboard eyes the fortress with satisfaction.
Seeing as our contract is coming to an end, Commander, let me just say that you are the most impressive client I've ever had the pleasure to work with. And a highly lucrative pleasure it's been, too.
You don't regret taking me up on my offer?
Of course not. Where else would I have had so many adventures? Besides, it's thanks to you that I've been able to add so many accomplishments to my service record, which will boost my rates in the future. You know, it's jobs like this, the ones that are both fun and pay well, that make me love what I do.
Don't tell me you've crawled right into the maw of the abyss for the sake of gold.
Huh. Well, it sure wasn't in the name of Iomade. Of course, money's not the be-all and end-all. You dimwits need someone with a clear head on your side, someone to watch your back. I know how you hero types love sacrificing yourselves at the drop of a hat.
Greyboard struggles to maintain his deadpan expression, but his mouth breaks into a smile despite his efforts. Well, time is money. We shouldn't squander it.
Now you're talking. Why don't you show me who it is we need to kill to win this war? Aurilu Vorlesh? I'll wish that lady sweet dreams with unalloyed pleasure.
Alright, Nenio.
I am calculating the likelihood of your victory. Taking into consideration the fortifications of Threshold, the long period it has been under demon control, and Aurilu Vorlesh, who is personally overseeing the defense, I would give the Crusaders a 30% chance of success at most.
With brows furrowed, Nenio is feverishly writing something on a crumpled piece of paper. He looks up at you and sighs.
Of course, the presence of an illustrious scholar of Golarion in your ranks, meaning me, immediately increases your chances by 5%.
Are you afraid?
Fear is an unproductive emotion that typically gets in the way of a good experiment. And I've never indicated that I do not support my loyal follower in his battle against the demons. I simply calculated your chances of success.
She snorts. Whatever our chances, we're not backing down.
If you win, I'll make sure to mention you in my encyclopedia. Aha! With that as an incentive, your chances have increased by 5%. Consider this my contribution to your victory.
Nenio scratches her nose with her pencil. Alright, Zosu.
There it is. The Citadel of the Demon Army. You know, I expected it to be formidable and fearsome. Something that would make me quake in terror. But now that I am standing at its gates, I'm surprised at how little fear I feel. Do not mistake this for bravado. Our enemies are dangerous, but no more than that. We have traveled to the heart of the abyss and back again. Now we are home, on our own territory. This time, let it be the invaders who quake in terror.
The cleric laughs bitterly.
I regret that Trevor did not live to see this battle, but that means that today I will be fighting for myself and for him. For everyone who did not live to see our victory.
What are you going to do after we win?
I will go home to Andorran. I will lay down my weapon and never pick up another so long as I live. Save a knife for cutting grapevines. I will serve the goddess in our old temple. And when the peasant children come to pepper me with questions about the crusade, I will do my utmost to make sure that my stories give none the idea that there is anything beautiful or romantic about war.
The wistful expression on his face gives way to a pained grimace. You've changed so much since we first met.
I had to. If I had a choice, I probably would have stayed the same naive little boy I was before the war. The boy who had never killed, who had never been to the abyss, who had never buried those with whom he had sat around a campfire only the night before. Even so, when I set out to join this war, my head was full of so many romantic notions. More than usual for a naive little boy. But life found a way to shatter those most thoroughly.
I'm sure your brother would be proud of you.
Pride is known as a mortal sin for good reason. It was pride that propelled my brother to join the crusade in search of glory. And look how that ended. No, I am not here to make anyone proud. I only want one thing. For this nightmare, after 100 long years, to finally be over.
Are you ready? Then to battle.
Ready. Let us drive the demons all the way back to the abyss!
Alright, Darren?
At last, this irksome crusade is drawing to a close.
Darren's smile reveals nothing beyond his usual genteel insouciance?
All right. It hasn't been that irksome. All in all, it was a fine adventure. And the company was more than adequate.
Yeah, sorry you're gonna get imprisoned after this.
The most important outcome of today, of course, will be that I shall be immortalized in works of art depicting the Fifth Crusade as the most attractive crusader.
I see you're not afraid of the fight ahead. Only a battle against the worst horrors of the world wound, after all.
Perhaps I should reconsider. No. Others can be afraid. But I know who our leader is and what he is capable of. I have never seen you fail to rise to a challenge, no matter how impossible. So leave me and my optimism be. We will win. If anyone should be afraid, it is the wretches inside Threshold.
Well then, onward to victory.
And to the victory feast, I trust?
Alright, Regil.
Greetings. Allow me to congratulate you on leading the armies of the Fifth Crusade to its decisive confrontation.
Regil is standing with his hands behind his back, his eyes fixed on the fortress. His usual implacable demeanor has acquired an air of solemnity, and his yellow eyes gleaming on his pale face.
Excellent. At last, a real achievement and a genuine chance of victory.
Regil permits himself a satisfied nod. Here we are at Threshold. The final battle and the resolution of the Worldwound problem is at hand. Are you happy?
I suppose I am. Being happy is not in my nature, but for the first time in years, I feel something akin to that emotion. It would be interesting to analyze what I experience when I see the criminal Aurilu Vorlesh defeated, the demons ousted, and the world wound closed at last. It promises to be an exceptional moment.
A rare note of contemplation appears in Regil's voice. It's been an honor to fight alongside you, Regil.
Thank you for your high estimation of my abilities. Our views on certain matters have not always aligned, but I fully recognize your achievements as a commander and as a comrade.
It's time. You ready for a bitter fight?
I am always ready.
Regil nods gravely.
You know what's crazy? I never thought this moment would come so soon. It feels like only yesterday we were trying to bring a blazing Canabras under control, and now we're standing on the cusp of our last battle. Threshold.
Lane is intently checking his gear.
This isn't how I imagined it. I thought I'd be running happily toward death and trying to do something particularly heroic so I could go out in style. But now, I'm thinking about how we have to win and go back to Dresden because there's so much work still to do there.
We're definitely not going to die. I have a good feeling about this.
Me too. You've got a whole army behind you, and we're all ready to win. If we fail now, when we've got this far, then that means the Crusades were always doomed to fail. We've been going easy on these demons for too long, don't you think? It's time to show them one last time what Galarians are capable of.
Lance smiles at you. We'll save Arushali for last.
Hey! Well, are we gonna stick it to the demons one last time?
Tila salutes you. Have you thought about what you're going to do after we win?
I haven't had time to think about it. All of my thoughts are focused on the coming battle. But I think I'll stay here a while, help the world to return to a life of peace and catch any demons that aren't dead yet. And I don't want to leave all my friends either. When we have peace, there will finally be time to spend with everybody. And after that, well, stick a pin in a map. There are still many places in the world where people are in need of help. Wherever the road takes me, I'll find a way to put my blade to use. And this block of wood.
Tila taps her head lightly with her knuckles and gives you a broad smile. You're a true friend, Tila. Been an honor fighting shoulder to shoulder with you.
Back at you, friend. So, are we going to crush some demons? It's time to show them the door once and for all!
Tila squeezes your shoulder for a moment.
There it is. The heart of the wound. The source of all the evil that has been wrought here over the last 100 years. It all began here. And we will end it here. If Aurilu Voralesh had never opened the world wound, I would never have ended up on Galarian. I would never have met Desna. Or you. I would never have embarked on the path of good.
Arushali's words are stirring, but there's no zeal in her voice. Only sorrow.
The world isn't fair. Thousands of innocent mortals perished during this invasion. But it was also the catalyst for one demoness's discovery of goodness and love. This may merely be a quirk of fate, but it means that our happiness together has come at a horrifying cost. Today, we will repay but a fraction of that debt. We will close this abomination so that no one else has to die.
Our love is a refutation of everything the demons believe in. If they had any sense, they'd flee this place as fast as they could.
I know, I actually pity them. If only I could have shown them what I feel. If only I could have shared this goodness, this tenderness with them. I'm sure they would have started on the same path as I have. But if helping them to change is beyond my abilities, then I will have to do battle against them. I will let no one threaten you and our happiness. No one.
Arushali sighs. You defeated the abyss within yourself. After such a feat, routing its armies will be a breeze.
I did not do it alone. You have led your army to victory, and me to my dream.
Arushali smiles. Now you're shouldering the guilt for all the victims of the invasion. Isn't that too much for one Arushali to handle?
It's not about guilt. It's just that I am ashamed to take any joy in my freedom, knowing that this terrible war was the cause of it. Everyone would have been better off if the world wound had never been opened. But then I would have remained a monster. Perhaps one day I will atone for all the evil I did. But it took a far greater evil to make my redemption even possible.
What are you going to do after we win?
You know what?
A playful smile blossoms on Arushali's lips. He whispers, "It's an appropriate time for that. Are you ready? Then to battle."
I am ready. Let the abyss tremble in fear.
Alright, to the Threshold Fortress. At the gates of Threshold, the darkness is dense and viscous, like a brew in a cauldron. The darkness seems to devour all light pouring in from outside. But the danger lies not only within. The companions you don't take into the final battle remain here to guard the approach to Threshold. They must be ready to fight as well. Darn it. Look into the darkness. For a moment, then you see blurred silhouettes inside. But then you realize that it was just your eyes playing tricks on you. Whatever is lurking in this darkness, it now lies low waiting for you. Enter the fortress. They'll probably be okay. Alright. Go ahead and buff up. We'll obviously be using all of our buffs here.
We will win this war.
So I never found a +5 short bow for Rushali to use. I mean, the +3 that she's using is plenty good.
No reason to
Let
pause.
me help.
To make sure I don't miss any buffs. I should have swapped some spells around. I keep meaning to. I always forget. I have those what, Acid Maw and Rushali that I don't need, and there's a few spells that Socio and Nenio don't ever use. Oh well. We made it this far, so. Guess it's a little late to start worrying about it now.
Anything new?
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
Oh, yes, what?
Alright. I'm going to call the episode here. I know it's a little anticlimactic, but the ending's not going to be short. We have a whole other dungeon to go through. I don't know how big Threshold is going to end up being, so I think this is a good place to end it. We'll wrap up the series next time, I think. Maybe. We'll see. Either way, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.